Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of RA Raw. My name is Lori MacLean, and if you haven't been here before, this is my YouTube channel. I was diagnosed at the age of 2 with rheumatoid arthritis, and it's here on this channel that I share my journey with you all. I share the things that I have learned along the way, and hopefully pass them on to you all, and it makes your journey a little bit easier, at least a little bit less lonely. Chronic pain can be something that is extremely isolating. We're not always blessed to have people around us who understand. It's through these videos that I talk about the things I've learned over the years. I aim to inform, educate, and inspire. I don't feel that I've been fully stepping into my promise to you all, to inspire. In today's video, I'm going to speak openly, honestly, and candidly about something that I don't talk about ever. Grab a cup of something warm, make yourself comfortable. Today, I'm going to talk about my battle with weight. So as I mentioned, this is not something that I talk about very often. And my reasoning for that is I don't want to be identified by my appearance. I don't want to be known as Lori MacLean, that plus-sized woman who is also gay, who also has rheumatoid arthritis. Those things do not define me. Hopefully people know me as someone who makes them smile. I feel that in order to be transparent with you all about things that I feel, things that are going on in my world, I know there are things that I go through that everyone else goes through as well. This video comes out tomorrow, and it's the day before, and I'm filming this video. I like things to be planned. I like to know what I'm doing in advance, of course, and I like to film these videos with as much information as possible. And in order to do that, I film them like middle of the week and edit and tweak and do everything and put them out on Sundays. But this one, I've been putting it off because it's not something that I'm comfortable with. But I recently heard a quote and it made me think. There's no growth in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the growth zone. So this year, you will see me step out of that comfort zone more than what I have been doing. I like where the channel is headed and where it's going, and I think people are responding to it and also are enjoying this channel. But by not addressing something that is obvious, I think I'm doing us all an injustice. Over the last few years, mostly so in the last year, I've gained more weight than what I am comfortable with. This has put me at a weight that is my all-time high, and I'm not comfortable with that. It scares me, to be honest. There's a lot of things that I have planned for the future, and in order to do that, I have to be healthy, and I have to be in my best physical form that I can be. I've said it before that through the help of medication, I have very much been able to reach a point with my rheumatoid arthritis that I've never had before, where I don't have any pain, or at least what I perceive to be pain. It's still there. I know it is. In those moments where I close my eyes and really focus, I can feel the pain. I know that there's areas in my body that are still aching, but it's not to the point where it is distracting to me. It's not to the point where it debilitates me anymore. My mobility is better than it has ever been. The fatigue, yeah, that's definitely still a problem. Not to the point where it should stop me. And that's kind of in the last year how I was living. I was letting the fatigue win. As a result, my weight has gone up 20 pounds, and I was already overweight and needed to make changes. And unfortunately, I did the opposite, and I really regressed. I began moving even less than what I had been. A couple of summers ago, I was walking like crazy. I was able to walk 3-4 miles and be okay with that, be able to get up the next day and do it again. When I do something, I tend to go all in. It's either, go hard or go home kind of situation. Lately, yeah, I've just been going home. I haven't been trying. It's through becoming more self-aware that I'm beginning to connect the dots as to why weight has always been an issue for me. As a child, it started off with the fact that it hurt to move, so I didn't. Combine that with the fact that it was believed at that time that if you were in a flare, you stayed mostly sedentary. For the majority of my childhood, I was in a flare. Fast forward then, to my 20s, and I really decided that I was done with rheumatoid arthritis. I was done with medication, and I just didn't want to deal with it, and didn't. Went down a path that had me at my second highest weight. I got to 262 pounds at that point, and I stepped on the scale at that weight and went, holy shit, this is scary. And at that point, I began moving. WeFit had just come out, and I used it to drop 35 pounds. I made some really big changes in my life at that time, but at that point, I was still 230 pounds. And that was still extremely high for my height. I am 5'2.5". So I said, as long as I can stay here at this weight, that's better than going up. If I can lose some, great. If not, then at least I haven't gone up. I don't know why. I've never known the reason for eating. I don't consider it that I binge. All these new meds came onto the market: Humira, Enbrel, Kineret, all those meds that were known as biologics and are known as biologics. And I saw people's lives changing. I was really excited about that because for the first time, I went, holy smokes, what if? I matched all the markers that were needed, and I started on Humira. And my RA almost overnight got so much better. I took that shot on a Wednesday. On a Sunday, I was like, holy crap, I have knees. I began to wake up in the morning and not be stiff. That was huge. I've always dealt with stiffness. When I started to feel better, I began moving a bit more, and that was fantastic. I remember my rheumatologist saying, I can tell that you're feeling better because I see your face slimming out. Your weight is going down. And it was. But then somewhere along the way, I just let that stop. And I don't know why. And I'm going to be doing the work to figure out the why. I have an aversion to moving. And I think some of that has to do with the fact that it hurts. And for me, there's that thing in my brain that says if it hurts, don't do it. Stop. But yet I'm the one that's cheering people on and saying you have to move because you do. It makes it so much easier if you move and if you can stay active with this disease. When I feel pain and I know what's causing it, I stop it. Over this past year, when the world kind of stopped, and I now recognize that it got stressful. We had a lot of stress last year in our house. I began using food in ways that I don't believe I used it before. I would use it to feel better. At the same time, I was also checking out, and I was not thinking about the things that I was putting in my mouth and into my body. I was just eating. I was going for things that were high in sugar and fat and comforting. When I stepped on the scale back in December, the number I saw was jarring. And I didn't feel hopeless, but I knew this is real. And if you don't change this, you're not going to live. And when I saw that number, I thought to myself, if you don't change something now, you're not going to see your nieces and nephew grow up. I already have high blood pressure. I have a fast heart rate. So I'm on meds for those two things. And I'm scared that if I don't lose the weight, that eventually diabetes will find me and it will catch me. I think I'm lucky at this point that I don't have that as well. There's a lot of things that I need to do some work on, and one of those is just by saying, my name is Lori MacLean. I am 5'2.5", and I weigh 278.5 pounds. That really scares me, and that really scares me, and I need to change it. And so it changes, and it's it's funny. I always said I wouldn't be one of those YouTubers that came on and cried. And I guess it's part of this, right? It's part of the process, and it's part of getting to the why. As I said, it's not something I talk about because I don't want to be defined, and I guess I don't want people to see that about me because I didn't want to see it about myself. When I look in the mirror, I don't see an overweight person. It's not that I don't look at myself, I do, but I guess maybe that's part of the problem. So when I saw that number, I did some scary things. I kind of checked out, for a couple of days and continued just to be the way I was being. Probably have McDonald's or something of that nature for supper that night, and continued on. But I've done something in the past that's worked for me, and that was intermittent fasting. And I know I talked about it a little bit, I believe, on here. And when I started, it always does make me feel good. So I started fasting again. I haven't gone walking yet. That will come. So I fast for 18 hours. And my eating window is 6 hours. In that time, I keep the food as clean as I possibly can. I'm eating more fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm eating, as I say, just more real food. And I'm drinking a lot more water than what I was. I realize now I was becoming quite dehydrated. I wasn't drinking nearly enough water, and that wasn't good either. There were so many things that I was doing that I tell people not to do. I was doing the opposite of that. And with that, I felt that I'm just not being authentic. Here comes the authenticity. I want to take you guys on this journey with me. It's twofold, my reasoning for that. Because I need to be accountable. Because if I'm not accountable, then I will, play those games in my head where I say, it's okay, start again tomorrow. I have a habit of procrastination, and that really rears its ugly head when I am debating in my mind whether or not I should have something. It's okay Eat that. Eat that fourth slice of pizza. It's okay. Eat those fries because there's tomorrow. But if I don't stop, there won't be a tomorrow. As I said, I've got a lot of things to do yet. I'm not done talking. So there will be some more posts like this, where I just share how things are going. Might do more of a vlog type style of video again. As I said, take you guys on this journey with me. I'd love to hear your comments. I've always been afraid to post these types of videos because I was afraid of the comments that might come at me. But I want to hear what you have to say. The negative comments, if they come, they come, and whatever. I'll deal with them if they roll in, but I would really like to hear from you all. Is there something in your life that you know you have to change and you haven't had the courage or the strength to do it before? That's this week's video. I hope you all are doing well. I really do. I'm okay. Please know that. I'm okay. And I'll be even better tomorrow and even better the next day. And I know there's going to be some darkness that may creep in. As I said, I have a lot of work to do to find out the why. Take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.